And I'd like to start off really by asking, mostly family man, just about taking it back quite a while really, and when the Wailers were starting out and when the music was coming up and reggae was like the new genre, we wanted to know really sort of, could you feel what was happening? So, like, I mean, if you look back now, reggae is such a big influence in everywhere, you know, Western culture, but not only culture, but like local families. Leeds, reggae is such a big influence to the music scene in Leeds. And we wondered how you felt at that time of it coming up, you know, how did you feel?
Well, as a young musician coming up on the vocal backbone and Peter and brother, we decided to take the music to a next level, you know, another stage. So we listened to a wide range of music in the time for sure. We listened to music from all over, you know, funk, soul, rhythm and blues, merengue, soca, and of course our native sound, calypso and Narow coming out and things like that. So we engraft all of those other types of music and create the reggae, which is the heartbeat of the people. It's the universal language that carry the message of roots, cultures, and reality. And it's for all ages, and all times, past, present, and future.
Have you noticed that as your sort of sound and as the reggae influence is sort of spread across the world, that they're like, maybe the demographic of your audience, has it changed or has it always been very diverse? Have you always attracted a very diverse range of people? Like tonight here we had people from all walks of life. Has that always been the case with the Wailers gig, or has it changed?
Yes, guys. So this music here is the almighty music, you know, the almighty creator is behind this thing. This thing coming from King David throne, the chief musician, you know, from the Psalms. And the first time when we hit the UK in the early 70s, you know, we did 2 shows at the Speakeasy. 2 shows a night for 2 weeks. And after that they write up in the papers. The Speakeasy Club is where all the journalists and the media people and also the critics, you know, they hang out at that club. You know? So they come together and after the 2 weeks, 2 shows a night and write that. The first song what we played, it casts a spell upon them. And after that, it was like magic.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's when the movement started.
I tell you, man.
So how did you guys all come about meeting each other? How did things move on from the beginning to you guys becoming part of it as well?
When I say, and I tell you, the Almighty, He moves in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
And let things manifest in due season.
We're all voluntarily chosen.
Yes. And we are also voluntarily chosen for the mission. And thy will must be done by all means, no matter the crisis.
For me it was 12 years ago in '96. I met fans through Al Anderson. Al lives in Los Angeles, I live in LA. I was 20 years old. I'd never done any music. I never thought I was going to be a musician or a singer or anything. I just grew up listening and being influenced by the Wailers music. And I was going into a studio to do a demo, and I needed a guitarist, and I met Al in a nightclub, and he lived next to the studio. So it worked out perfectly. We made a whole demo album, and then when you heard my voice, he then took that album, played it for fans, because Junior Marvin had left the band at that time. And Junior had taken over for Bob when Bob And that was my first time ever being in a band, first time ever on stage, first time, no rehearsal, no sound check, nothing.
Yeah,
they just stuck there and said, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "All right, well, if I'm not ready now, I won't be ready ever." I got up in front of like 6,000 people, my first show ever on a stage ever, and I didn't have any stage presence or anything. But closed my eyes. The only thing I was afraid of, I wasn't afraid of the people, I wasn't afraid of anything else except getting the words right, because I knew everybody in the audience knew every single word, and if I got it wrong, they would like crucify me, you know.
Did you find it Elan? Did you find it intimidating at all, like having to fill not only Bob Marley's shoes, but Junior Marvin's shoes as well? It's like the front man. Do you find that intimidating?
I'm not trying to fill anybody's shoes. I am myself.
Make your own.
I am me. I'm not trying to be Bob Marley. I'm not trying to be Junior Marvin. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I wouldn't be able to sing this music or be in this band if I didn't believe in the message and the movement. I believe it. I sing it with my heart and soul because I feel like as if I wrote the songs. That's how I feel, like I'm as a part of the Wailers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or else you would see it. The crowd would see it on me that it wasn't real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it, and that's how I looked at my music. I was inspired and influenced by them to make my music that way. Now I had other influences, but my message and the meaning and the feeling that you get, where I try to take what I feel with that, I put that into my music as well. And this music is the greatest, like you said before. The reason why the crowds changed what I saw in 10 years, because I took a hiatus from the band. I went to go do some solo work, came back a couple years ago, and the one thing I noticed, usually when I first started, everybody was my age. This was like my university. I went to the university. The university was the world. I had the best professors, FAMs, and I had, Mikey, Boo, Wire, all these guys teaching me the way. Don't do this, don't do that. Watch this, watch that. Teaching me. And then I graduated, and then when I came back, I realized I'm looking out at the audience, and I'm like 10 years older now, and I look at the audience, it's still the same. They're still between 16 and 24, trying to find themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it became you giving them the message rather than...
Yeah, well, the movement and the message is the biggest, the most important thing about this band. More than any just one individual. Bob couldn't do it by himself. Fams couldn't do it by himself. Carly, all of them. They were voluntarily chosen. They were like a platoon of warriors with this message and a movement, giving it out to all the people, doing Jah's work. And that's the most important thing, and that's why it'll live forever. The music is deep, but easy to understand. Like Fam said, it's from kids to old people, and you see that in our crowd. There was young kids till you saw old people here, and every single show is like that. We're from 7 to 70, and they all understand. And the best thing about, to me, the music is I never have one of my favorites, because whatever I'm going through at that time in my life. So 1 minute I love Bad Card, next minute I love Could You Be Loved, next week I could love We and Them and Rat Race. Yeah. That's the best thing about the music. It never gets old.
The message of the Wailers and Exodus and so on, it will just carry on generation after generation. Like our kids will be able to listen to Exodus and draw the same meaning from it, and be the same inspiration that we do and the generations before us did.
I believe it's more relevant now than it was when it was created. But we have more atrocities, we have more war, we have more, we have the economic problem, we have the environmental problem. We have so much problems now in our world than in the 70s. I think it's just heightened, but it will live forever. Look at it now. Look at it since Bob passed, and even since the band started. I think the band is bigger now, right? Fams?
Keep it going.
The music is bigger now than it ever was.